Hello, this is Nick George with Clouds Diamond Sharpening, just with an Super AGR Plus, same as BGR Plus, except it's an animal version, which means it has a latch on the hinge instead of just a little piece of metal to hold that clips the blade down on a BGR. Okay, so let's see what's wrong. I don't have a battery, so I'm going to use my little tester here. No altering in the speed, so the armature's good. What I'm gonna do is I'm not sure what's wrong with it. Sometimes people don't engage the blades or mistakes happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure this thing runs when I'm done with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take the motor apart. And this is what I do to all AGRs because they tend to go bad. Act like there's a bad spot in the armature when actually it's just these brush springs I found out. You can take the motor out and don't lose your little hand there, you'll be hurting. Take the brush caps off. So sometimes these springs are really weak. They have black, harder ones now that they sell. What I usually do is put 2 of these, or put an Oster spring in it to an Oster brush, or stretch them out. Whatever you feel like doing, I guess. I'll stretch them out. See how it runs. So usually when there's a bad armature on these, you'll see a lot of black corrosion. This one looks really nice, so I already can tell. There's no shorting out, there's no dark spots in between the contacts where it's having a hard time spinning, so there's none of that. There's no evidence of this armature not working, so I'm gonna just stretch these brush springs out just to make sure it runs at 100%. Not very much debris inside the field. The magnets are not broken. If you have an AGR or a BGR that's getting hot, it's usually because these are broken and rubbing the armature. But there's no signs of any drop or anything on this one. So this one's gonna be good after I service it. It'll have no other option. Put your brush springs back in, make sure there's no corrosion on the brush spring or the brushes. These brushes are clean. And there's a little nipple on here. You want to put it in between the brush. You don't want to smash these brush springs sideways, or they're not going to give a whole bunch of enough tension to put the brush to the armature. Make sure your drive snaps all the way down before you screw it in, or you'll just ruin a brand new drive, and you'll probably leave lines in your cut. Now if you just replace the drive and you're still leaving lines, that means there's something wrong with your clipper. It'll probably be that cam right there, that cam bearing right in between the drive there. Now if you replace those and it's still leaving lines, then you might as well just send it on to me, because there's a lot of problems, so that all I need to take care of. Put your battery lock back in there. Move your brush wires out of the way of the switch. Make sure it isn't shorting across the switch, or it'll just be in a constant run and your switch won't work. Make sure this works still. Make sure it locks. It does. Don't forget your keeper. It's the thing that goes under the drive, so it sits off from the lever or drive a little further. One more test just to make sure. I don't want to run it too long with these, it's too much power. It'll melt those wires, but just for it doesn't heat up enough to hurt it. Alright, there's a AGR Plus repair. Very good. We'll try it with a blade, just to make sure. Very good. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep it sharp, keep it running, keep it looking good. See you later.